I know we've had a few videos on this thing, but this is getting back together. Obviously, engine is in. I've been putting together all the little things under here, getting the sway bar end links on the Öhlins, sway bar on, all the little hoses and stuff hooked up under here, intercooler piping taken care of, you know, just making sure that down here is good. Next is I'm gonna be lowering it to finish the stuff up top for the engine. Also, we do have a front spoiler to put, or lip to put on. I'm gonna take that, the stock one off. We're gonna put the new lip on. There's been a little developments. I know we were trying to get it ready for a track day. Granted, they said that they didn't want me to rush through it because they wanted it done properly. And I told them, I appreciate that, but I wasn't gonna do it not proper. I just felt like we could have made it for the race weekend coming up. But since they decided, you know what, we're just gonna skip the race weekend and we'll deal with it afterwards, I was like, that's fine. I'll get it together and make sure all the bugs are worked out before they get it, where I would have had a day or so of working the bugs out before they get it. So there's a few things that we were going to move to phase 2, and now it's just gonna be part of this phase. So I'm gonna show you how I'm doing some of this stuff that we're putting on, and then phase 3 will definitely come after we've been to the track, but we have to go there first. So I'm just gonna finish putting on the stuff that we have. You know, I gotta do the radiators and stuff in the front, and we have a new trunk or bonnet, whatever you wanna call it, thing that covers the engine, and a spoiler for that, a steering wheel, and a few other things that I gotta put on. So this is kind of where we're at now and where we're going. So stick with us, this thing will be really cool when it's done. On the other end of the car, we're going to be looking at the radiators. So we don't have new side ones because they're out of stock. We have a new center one, so I'm not going to worry about cleaning that one. We're just going to be chucking it and replacing it. These ones, we're going to open them up, essentially open up the gap in between the condenser and the radiator, and we're going to clean everything that builds up in there. And the one thing that I want you to remember is, one, if you own a Porsche, this is like a normal thing. You have to do this if you want to make sure that everything works fine. If you don't do it, you'll probably have issues after a while, or you just have a lot to clean up when you actually do it. This one has, like I said before, less than 19,000 miles. So I'll show you what can happen in that amount of time. And if you have more than that, you can kind of guess how bad it gets. So bumper's already off, obviously, you know. I'll show you how to put the bumper on, and you can reverse the order if you want. But this is the little temp sensor for the front of the car. And all we're gonna be doing is taking off the cover that holds the condenser stuff on. And then what we do is, you don't wanna go in here with, you know, a wire brush and just go ham on scrubbing everything. Essentially, you get a lot of it off as best you can. I have had some where I do have to use like a screwdriver because it's caked in there so bad. But you gotta be really careful because the fins are really easy to bend. And if you bend any of the fins, you now have lost any kind of cooling capacity in that area because the fins are how it cools. And then one in there. Yeah, so there is 5 on this. And then you gotta get it around the condenser line over here, but it does come out pretty easily. Oh, no, there's 6, never mind. Don't listen to me. As you can see, there's already leaves and stuff falling out of this. And so that all was in there, obviously. And then, yeah, the 4 that you take out on the outside are what hold the condenser. And it has enough wiggle room for you to pull it out of the way. It's not terrible, but this is a decent amount of stuff. We're just gonna kind of clean it out with air and everything and make sure that there's nothing built up here. Now, the other thing too is, for whatever reason, it's never even. I'm sure there's some kind of like statistic bullcrap about that, but it's never even on how much dirt and everything is in here. So I haven't seen where just one side is the worst. It's just, there's going to be a worse side and a less worse side with both of them. one of the ones that I did, it had 100,000 miles on it. And from this edge, from this edge all the way down and almost to the front was caked on stuff that I had to scratch off with a screwdriver. So I'm gonna go grab the air blower and see if we can get a lot of this stuff with just air. Like I said, sometimes one side is worse than the other, and we're gonna find out right now if this side is worse. Oh. All right, this side definitely has way more leaves. And what is it, styrofoam? Yeah, we got styrofoam on this side. How are we looking under there?
About the same.
Still not horrible. Yeah, so driver's side was worse on this one. Yeah, they got me a little bit. You know, everything else on this is so easy and all that stuff, but you think they would make a easier to control drain than just, hey, it's open. But yeah, this would just have the, like, what's it, the little, I don't know, whatever the pin is. Some weird, it's not a cotter pin, it's like a giant C-clip-ish that holds these hoses in. So yeah. We'll probably need it for the new ones, but it just goes in there and holds the little clips, and now we gotta pry apart the radiator hose. One thing that I always do is, granted with these, I always check the O-rings on the hoses every time I take them out. However, I have yet to actually find an O-ring that's bad, but it's always good practice to make sure you keep an eye on it because you don't wanna put it back together with a bad O-ring. What is it? Oh, it's a clip. Hey, we got more water. There we go. Okay, that duct has clips on it. The front one is riveted on. Oh, stickers. All right, that's it. We're done. I'm good. Thanks, guys. Have a nice one.
Put the stickers on the car for the party.
Yeah, just gotta let everybody know. Hey, look, they come with new little clips. That's nice. Wow. Look at that. Even their cardboard has their logo in it. Can't get cooler than that. This is so you can spray paint. It's literally probably so you can spray paint it. All right, getting everything bolted. I don't know what these little bolts are for, because it looks like the factory little slide things just, yeah. Wow. What do we need the bolt for? Oh, whatever. No, I love, like, this is actually a thing that's on a lot of stuff around the Porsche, even little tiny ones that hold the shifters, the shifter selector in and everything. And they're super nice because they're really easy to take apart and they're really easy to install and reuse and not bend, and done. Look at that. Come on. So essentially, because it wasn't going on, I took the little hoses, because they're actually just a little hose, off of the hard lines and shoved them on the back of the radiator. Still wasn't fun. I definitely don't know how I would have gotten them on in the car. But to get this hose off on this side, I had to take the horns out. If you're going to do anything like this on a German car, this tool is a godsend. So it's essentially for the hose clamps, and I'll show you, but you squeeze it and then it locks, and now that's how big it is. And you don't have to touch it anymore. And then you just release it and now it's open. So huge help. If this was a stock piece, I'm guessing these would click in very nicely because this is aftermarket and machined and all that stuff. They probably made them super tight because tight, it won't leak, and too loose, definitely leaks. So safe on their end, not on mine. All right, they slid on pretty nicely, but I'm going to show you what this does. Look at that, beautiful. Go under the headlight. You lined up. Look at that. Look at that. So I'm finishing the install for the Works Bell paddle shifters and a Momo steering wheel. Just getting the grounds for the paddle shifters taken care of. And I will say they do feel a lot better, and it's actually going to be nice because the OEM steering wheel had up and down. So the top of the button was up, the bottom of the button was down. Really annoying. These are just going to be up, down, which is going to be nice, and it does turn with the steering wheel, so it's still kind of like the other one where it's, you know, moving with it and all that, but it does feel nice and it works fine. It did come with a little like leather tag saying that it's real leather and all that. Going to do a flush on the transmission fluid, do the tune, which for whatever reason, I don't know why it's still on 1.5 bar, but the tune should take care of most of that. There's a couple things that I want to adjust before he gets it. I already raised the rear a little bit because it was a little low. Final alignment, and then they should be taking it to the track for the weekend, and then afterwards bringing it back for us to do more. So there's still going to be more, don't you worry. Right now we're putting on the transponder, and I think I know where I'm going to put it. I'm going to probably put it right here, and then we're going to run up the wire through there to go towards the battery. Pretty.